We don't necessarily know when game day is, because the type of fitness that we're talking about is being prepared for anything and everything that life throws at you. I used to be a collegiate strength and conditioning coach. I worked with Division I athletes and I trained them for game day. And it was very easy on one front because you knew exactly when game day was going to be. So you could have a progressive plan. You could work their way up, you could add weights, you could build strength and muscle, you could work towards a goal because you knew on this day they need to be physically prepared for whatever event they're about to embark upon. When I was a human performance specialist for Naval Special Warfare, I worked with Navy SEALs, and I was essentially a strength and conditioning coach for the Navy SEALs. This was a little bit trickier because there wasn't necessarily a game day that we were preparing for. When we're talking about the kind of fitness that we're talking about now, real life stuff for the general preparedness minded individual like ourselves, we don't know when game day is coming. We don't have a deployment schedule. We don't have a set deadline that we need to be prepared for. We have no idea when the bad guy's going to kick down the door. We have no clue when the EMP and the aliens are going to attack. We don't know when our truck is going to break down in the middle of nowhere and we've got to walk our butts all the way back to civilization. We don't know when that's going to happen. So our training has to be careful. We have to be smart. We have to be diligent in not overtraining and not injuring ourselves, not overworking our bodies so that we're unprepared and not ready for that game day that's coming one day. Now, what it is that we're actually training for, we don't know. That's the other really, really difficult thing about it. We want to be as well-rounded. Our training needs to be as broad and all-encompassing as possible because we just don't know what is going to be asked of us. We could have to run 10 miles. We could have to push our heavy truck out of the mud. We could have to fight a guy in the street. We have no idea. So that's why we have to vary our training so much. It's got to be so broad, so wide, and we can't specialize really in anything, which is kind of a drag because it's nice to get really good at one particular thing. And we kind of gravitate towards that. I know I do. I gravitate towards the things that I'm already good at. But what we need to do is push the boundaries, push the lines of things that we're not good at. That's what we need to push, those goals, the things that we're weak at. We need to really work on those things. And then, like I said before, we've got to be smart. We can't overwork ourselves during training to the point of exhaustion or injury, because then we're not prepared for the next day when game day might come at us. Like for example, this last weekend, I did a triathlon, kind of an impromptu triathlon here on the property. We ran from here to the lake. We did a bike ride from here, a 15-mile bike ride. We did nearly a mile swim and an 8-mile run all in total. And it really beat my body down. And if you would have asked me to be ready the next day, it'd have been tough. It would have been really tough if something really difficult came my way the next day, some natural disaster that I needed to be active and solving problems. It would have been really tough. So we've got to be smart. And I'm not saying that there aren't opportunities. You shouldn't take risks every now and then and push yourself and do difficult things like entering the 5K race in your neighborhood or whatever. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that stuff. You just have to be strategic about it. So we've got to do small incremental progressions, right? Maintenance, of course. We want to have a baseline fitness that we're always maintaining. But when we're striving to improve at a certain thing, certain area, we want to do it gradually. We can't try to do it all at one time. Like, for example, if I'm doing an exercise like squats, okay? And today, on Wednesday, I squatted more than I've ever squatted before. And I think, I could go for a little bit more. Don't do it. Don't you do it. If you've made a personal record, a personal best, stop right there. And then next week, or whenever you schedule it again, then you try to push it just a little bit further, perhaps. But don't try to crush yourself and get all of your fitness done in one single day. It's not a smart tactic. If you're pushing yourself to complete exhaustion, wiped out on the floor, in a sweat angel and about to vomit, every single workout, you're probably overdoing it, and you're going to overtrain, not just physically, but also mentally. You're going to end up hitting a wall somewhere, and then the juice won't be worth the squeeze emotionally anymore. It's going to be too painful of a process to continue pushing this way. So pace yourself, pace yourself. Small improvements, incrementally, gradually, over long periods of time is what we're looking for, because like we talked about before, we're looking at long-term results. We're looking at fit for life. We're looking at being prepared for anything and everything that life throws at us 10 years from now. Not right now, not today, but 20 years from now, when we're 60, 70 years old, whatever it is, we still want to be as physically capable as we can possibly be. Especially as we get older, like I'm going to be 42 here real soon. Next month I'll be 42 years old, and my body doesn't recover quite as well as it used to. I'm not as durable as I feel like I used to be. I'm still capable, I'm still competent, but I've got to be smarter about my training and listen to my body. That's what we've got to do. If we're in the middle of a training workout and we feel a little something, little twinge right there, and you know that if you keep pushing, your pride says keep doing it, you're fine, don't be a weenie. You keep pushing, tomorrow the arm is just going to be dangling there and it'll be useless. We don't want that, because we don't know when we will be called upon. So we've got to be smart. If that little twinge is there, modify, switch it up. Be willing to be nimble and flexible, and not just physically, but mentally. Be flexible. Be willing to admit that you're not indestructible. and occasionally you need to pull back on those reins just a little bit and say, "Whoa, Nelly," and you got to slow it down a little, because if we don't, we'll injure ourselves, and if the training is injuring us, we're missing the point that we won't be ready for when game day comes. I'm always modifying my workouts mid-workout. I'm always doing that. I'm always changing things up, mixing things up based on how my body's feeling that day. And I recommend that you do the same thing. So on this channel, for example, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I post my workouts in short form. So if you click on this, my YouTube channel here, Fit on 3, and you click on Shorts, it'll take you to all the workouts that I've posted for the past, whatever it is, a year or so. There's a bunch of them. And it'd be really great if you guys follow along. And now what that means is that you don't do necessarily exactly what I do, because that might be really stupid for you. I've been doing this for a lot of years. I'm a fairly fit individual. I've been training like this since I was a teenager. And I have a lot of experience with this kind of stuff. And I know what I can take. I know what I can't take. I know how to quickly modify stuff on the fly. And you might be a way fitter individual than me, and that's fine. You could double what I do and still be just totally okay the next day. But what I'm saying is that you need to modify based on your own current abilities, your strengths, weaknesses, injuries, all that stuff. Modify as needed. I would love it if you guys follow along and make some comments in the comment section and say, "Yeah, I did this workout and I crushed it. You suck, Jason. I beat you." I would love that so much. That would be fantastic. That's kind of my goal, is to inspire others to improve themselves physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, get stronger every single friggin' day. That's what I want. Let me know what you guys think about it. Leave lots of comments for me. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. I'm going to be trying to put out a full-length video like this one, not just shorts, but actual instructional, informational videos once a week or so, give or take. And I think you guys I think you'll enjoy it. So hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and until next time, what's the worst that can happen? Let's just go on 3.